Hey, what's up, guys? Crackers here, and we're going to be talking about my absence in the past while and the reason why. So, if you haven't known, if you're not like, if you don't know me in real life, I went to Nicaragua, which is Central America. It's above Costa Rica. It's the biggest country in Central America, and it also has the biggest lake, and it also has freshwater sharks in that lake. So we didn't go in the lake, so we just went in the ocean instead, and that ocean was effing hot. Anyways, we had some really good adventures there. I'm here to talk to you guys about them. So let's do some story time about the gameplay. Age of Mythology, it was on some speed up mode so that it wouldn't take very long. I still didn't really do much. It was just kind of to fill the hole. I'm really addicted to Age of Mythology right now. Me and my group of friends, we all have this group where we just play each other, but don't tell anyone. Um, so yeah, let's back to the story. Okay, so it's like, well, I live in Victoria, and if you don't know where that is, Google Maps it right now because you're retarded. Well, more importantly, Sandton. It's a little bit farther away from Victoria, but it's closer to the international airport. But we didn't take the airport. We took a ferry, and we went to Vancouver. We stayed the night there so we could catch the first airplane to Houston. And Jesus Christ, I shouldn't really complain about airplane rides because I don't really go on airplanes. This is probably this is my biggest trip I've ever gone on. So I shouldn't really be complaining about the length of this trip. Anyways, the flight down to about Houston was like 4 hours, and I was like, we didn't even have TV. We're on like one of those like crappy airlines where they don't even have TV. It's just you just stare at the screen while it plays advertisements. You read a book or something, or watch iPod podcasts, and that's what I did. But anyways, aside from that, we went to Houston. Waited for a little bit, and then went from Houston to Managua, and Managua is the capital, the little capital there. It's not too little, I shouldn't say actually. It's probably 2 million people. That place is shady. You do not go there. You know what, people from Compton, if you're ever watching this, you can kiss my butt. You go down there and act all Compton and stuff like, yeah, I'm Compton. Ooh, I'm from Compton. You go down there and you crap your pants, okay? This is not funny. This is a no joking business there. They used to have drug cartels and crap that just carry around AKs. But aside from that, anyways, we got off the plane or whatever, and our my dad's friend who practically lives there. He spends most of his time in Nicaragua. He came to pick us up, and we went to some really fancy hotel. Like, this thing was just too fancy. I was like, okay, what's the catch? And this thing was place was pretty ridiculously cheap. Like, it'd be the price of a Best Western here in Canada. So it was very nice, but I felt kind of too spoiled because I knew how many people are poor in that country. So then we went to bed there, and in the morning about 10 o'clock we went to go drive because my dad's friend has a car that he rents there, and so we got in the car or whatever, and we started driving around. And in Nicaragua, there's no, those green sides on like the green signs on the side of the road. There's no green signs. There's just you go. Maybe you have a map. If you have a map, you're a lucky guy. Like, you just go. And the traffic is it's fun to be in because it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's just nothing you've ever seen before in your hometown. Like, in Canada, oh god, you can ride. There's usually about 3 people on motorcycles. Like, they have the kid in the front and the wife on the back, and like the husband or whatever, in the middle driving. No helmets. Really fun stuff. Like, you can ride on the back of trucks and stuff, and there's no limits, no seat belts, corrupt cops. We'll get to that later. But anyways, yeah, this driving is just atrocious, and my dad's friend, he's used to it, so he's just driving along, nobody's business. Um, and he kind of remembers the way to drive down to this town that we're going to, because we're not going to stay in the capital because the capital's kind of crap. So we're going down to like this place called San Juan del Sur. It's only about 10 kilometers from Costa Rica, so it's pretty down there, and it's on the Pacific side. I'll probably put a video of it in Google Maps or something, maybe. Anyways, yeah, so we were about to drive down there, and where we gotten a little lost because it's just kind of a big loop, that place. Luckily we were in the outskirts. We weren't really in the downtown, really busy area. We were in more of the outskirt Managua area. Anyways, then there's all these kind of roundabouts and crappy cars driving around, which were pretty cool. They're all imports. There's no real American cars. But we went in a big circle, and then there's this like big roundabout. And usually you're supposed to just, once you exit a roundabout, you just go into the inner lane, like the closest one to the left or whatever. That's what supposedly I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if it's the right side or the left side. I don't know. I don't really drive I've never really drove a roundabout before. We don't really have too many around here. But yeah, we come out of this roundabout, and here's some policia, which is, if you don't know shit all for Spanish, is police. And these guys are so corrupt. Like, you can sometimes pull off a $10 American bill and walk away, like, and they won't act like anything. It's just so great. Like, I wish you could do that to police officers in Canada, like, here's $20, get out of here. Anyway, so then they're like right there, and they're pointing to us, like they're pointing to pull over. That's usually what they do, is they have both their hands out and point to the side of the road. So my dad's friend who's driving pulls over or whatever, and he's like, oh crap, and he's fiddling around through the glove box trying to find the license and registration and all that. Here comes this guy. He doesn't really speak too much English, this police guy. So neither does my dad's friend. We're Canadian. We don't really have to learn Spanish in school, so it was just kind of a, maybe he kind of knows a little bit, but he can't really fluently speak a sentence. So he's just like, the police officer, he's pointing to like the roundabout or whatever, and he's like, infraction. And my dad's friend's like, that's not an infraction. We just came out of a roundabout. And I don't think it was because we were white, which is a gringo down there. I might use that term later on in this video, and if you're ever wondering, it means tourist, gringo. So I don't think it was because we were gringos. I think it was just because they want money. These guys, an average like salary a day for a Nicaraguan is usually like at the max like $8 a day. Like, come on, that's lower than I get paid an hour at McDonald's. So these guys came down here and saw how much money we make and stuff like that. Oh, they just love it. Sorry if I sound like I'm shivering. It's kind of cold down here in my basement, up in here in Canada. Anyways, yeah, so he's like, infraction, and my dad's friend, he was just like, no, that's not an infraction. I don't know what you're talking about. We just exited a roundabout, and he's like, he says like $80, and my dad's friend's like, $80 really? That's nothing. Like, come on, we didn't even break any laws. And then my dad started getting pretty angry at him. I don't really suggest getting mad at any police in any country, especially foreign ones. But these guys are so greedy, they won't do anything. So that day, I think we walked away with nothing but $80 out of our pocket. Not that day. There's still more to come. Don't worry, the story isn't over. Okay, so then, we got away from the police, and then we're driving. My dad's friend suddenly remembers where he is now, so we turn on the proper road. We're just driving along. I get to see Nicaraguan countryside, which is pretty cool. There's shantytown looking stuff. It's kind of like, that map Favela in Modern Warfare 2. Like, some of the cities look like that, but we were more in the like farmland, which was pretty neat. But we're just driving around. There's usually no passing lanes or anything like that. You don't have to pass. Well, you do have to pass, but it doesn't. No one's gonna no one's really gonna care. But some certain areas where it gets really windy, there's no passing. We were coming up to one of those areas, and um, there's these little like I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're tuk-tuks. They're like a three-wheeled car, and they use them as taxis. They go extremely slow, and everybody tries to pass them, and everybody does pass them. Um, but yeah, we were coming up to it like a tuk-tuk or whatever. We passed that. We're like, it's a solid line. It doesn't really matter. Nobody saw it. So then we're coming up like this hill. It's not really too much of a hill, like an incline. It's just a little hill, and there's this white truck, and we pass it. We're going pretty fast, and right at the top of the hill, there's some police, yeah, right there, and they they saw it. They're we're not gonna like BS our way out of this one. We could be in big trouble, you know. He's pointing us over to the side. He's looking pretty angry. And my dad's friend, I don't know. This guy is hilarious. This guy is crazy. I love it. We just gun it. We go right by the guy, and he freaks out. And I'm in the back of this truck, right? I'm in the back of this truck, and I'm looking back like are they gonna get in their car? They don't really look like they were. They were kind of walking towards it. I don't know if they were trying to get our license plate or something. But we were driving a white Toyota truck. Oh Jesus, there's too many white Toyota trucks to even get busted for that. So we're still on the solid line, and we're going fast. Like we gotta evade the cops now. Like this is. And I'm not lying to you. This is some serious crap right here. You know, you can do whatever you want in Nicaragua, but we're running from these cops, right? And we get up to this traffic jam, like on a hill again, and some guy stalled or something like that, and we're like, oh, come on, go, go, go. We can't be doing this. Oh, and I apologize for the laggy video. Got some frap issues. Don't really focus on that. It's more about the story. I just kind of want to use it as a filler. Anyways, yeah, I see them. They're coming up behind me. I didn't know if it was a car or not because their police cars are like kind of, oh, fucking cat. Sorry. Um, yeah. So there's like these police cars, and they kind of look like normal cars. They got a little box on the top, but you know it doesn't really look too obvious like the ones at home. And you can hear it buzzing around like wee 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 wee, and he's like, oh, crap, we're screwed now. We've done it. So my dad's friend, he's pretty good at reading people, and taking taking care of business. So he gets out of the car, right, and he talks to this guy, and he's like a young guy. I couldn't really hear what he's saying, obviously, because we were just inside the car. And he's talking and talking, and he pulls out a cigarette, and he gives the cop a cigarette, and they start talking and stuff, and then they go towards the police car, right? And they're talking, and then all of a sudden I see one like start to laugh. I'm like, well, what the hell is he doing? He's having a freaking barbecue over there or something like that. Like, this is no time to talk with the police about your day. And so then he hands him a whole pack of smokes, and they're really lit up now. Their faces are just lit up like a kid on Christmas Day. And then he comes back to the car, and we're like, well, what did he say? And